Hi there, welcome to Pop Along RC. I'm Mark. Today I'm going to give you some speed secrets in regards to these two TAMIYA TT01E cars. So we get lots of questions asking us how we set our cars up. So today's video I'm going to show you exactly how I set up both of my cars. This is my carpet racing car. This is the car that I race outdoors on tarmac, asphalt tracks. They're both set up completely differently. They have many similarities which we'll go through in a minute, but there's a lot of differences as well. Now these are just some things that I do to get my cars running as best as I can. I'm not saying I'm the best driver in the world, I'm not. At best, when I race outdoors, I'm a B finalist really. Occasionally I might sneak into the A final, but I'm at the lower end. Indoors, however, I do a bit better indoors. I'm more of a carpet racer, I think it's safe to say, than an outdoor racer. But you know what, over the years that I've been racing these cars, I've picked up a lot of useful information from some really good drivers, far better than me, and I'm going to pass it on to you guys as well. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, let's look at the similarities. Okay, so take that shell off, take this shell off. Remember, this is the carpet car, this is the road car, the asphalt car, okay? So the similarities are they are both TT01E chassis, all right, to start with. Very, very similar. I'm using the Hobbywing 1060 ESC, which is okay. It's cheap and cheerful and fine. They've both got ball race kits in, so you need to get ball race kits in if you're going to race these to get rid of those plastic bushings. They've both got the air racing shocks. 50mm ones I go for. I like to get mine a little bit lower to the ground. They both run a fan. Obviously we don't want anything overheating, and wishbones are all the same. Everything is the same. I do tend to run the same steering mechanism on this. I find it's pretty good. People do upgrade it, but I don't really see the need. I think it's okay, to be quite honest. There's not a lot of slop in that whatsoever. What else is similar or exactly the same? The adjustable turnbuckles I use, and that is as far as the similarities go. So what's different? Okay, so first of all, it's quite evident the shell's different. So at my local club, when we run these, they're not too sort of bothered about what shell you run really. So I've gone for a really low slung shell. This is the HPI G Ready shell. It's actually quite good and it's cheap. That's what I run. It's nice and low, and I've got a real thin coat of paint on that, so it's not too heavy. However, at the iconic events and most TAMIYA events, you really need to run the shell it kind of either comes with, or select a few shells that they recommend, and that's the one, which is the Subaru, which I've gone for because I trust it. The wing on the back is a TAMIYA race wing. So those are obviously different. Okay, so the next thing on the list is the fact that the road car here has got the top deck cut down. Now that's a trick I learned from some of the top racers when we've raced at the iconic event. The carpet car has it fully intact. The reason being is it gives it a little bit more flex on some of the really big long straightaways on those big tracks. This car gets up to some serious pace, and of course you want it to grip as soon as you come into those corners. So that's what I'm running there. Also on the road car, I've gone for the slightly wider hexes on the back, just to give it some more stability. And as we look over to the carpet car, again, completely different here. When you look at this, how much weight have I got there? I've got some added weight. We found out really through trial and error that on carpet, these TT01s on the shorter circuit, for some reason, I mean, I don't really know why, to be quite honest, but they need a bit more weighting. I suppose when you look at the cars when they were first designed all them years ago, they were designed with NICADs in mind, all right? So obviously they've kind of not really changed an awful lot. So I guess they're designed for heavier batteries, therefore they run better. We run lipos because I just trust lipos, to be honest. I find that nickel metals are inconsistent. People will disagree with me on that, most probably, but I don't like them. Lipos give you more punch. I like the lightness of it as well, especially with this one out on the road. Okay, next thing, tyres. Massively different when it comes to racing on carpet and racing on road. So this car here has, the tyres I'm running on here are the Contact A30 tyres, which at our club are absolutely bang on for this car. They're brilliant. However, I tried using them outdoors once and it was almost like this car was on ice. It was horrendous. The tyres I tend to use on the outdoor car are, well, actually there's two tyres that I go with, and this is just me, remember, this is just what I use and it suits my driving. I use the Rush 28s when it's slightly cold, and then I go up to a Rush 32 when it warms up, and that is it. I don't mix and match tyres. Some people do, and they do really well. Doesn't suit my driving. That's just what I tend to run with. Another little hint for you. So there's no tyres on here. Reason being is because every time I run my car, let me just get this here. Every time I run my car and I bring it home, I put the tyre, I take the wheels off, I coat the tyres in tyre additive, and I put them back in here and seal it up ready for the next race. Now, since I've been doing that, the car has been handling beautifully. Now, is there something in that? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. But I do it and it seems to work. So on the subject of tyres, on my indoor car, the carpet car, I never, ever, ever use tyre warmers. Never really seen the need, to be quite honest. Some people do. I personally don't use them. However, on my outdoor racing car, I always use tyre warmers, and there is a reason for it. Number one, obviously to get some heat in the tyres. It's colder outside, you've got the wind, the elements and such, and also it tends to dry the additive nicely, because if you go on the track with additives still on your tyres on a tarmac surface, these cars you won't get round clean on your first lap. You'll be trying to shake that off before you get grip. Okay, the indoor car, the carpet itself will actually just within a few meters, it will just burn off that additive and you'll get grip pretty much instantly. Okay, the next thing in these cars, which is exactly identical, are the front diffs. Now, any racer will know, if you go racing, the diff action on the cars is absolutely imperative to get right. Now, this is again what I use. You don't have to use it, but this works for me. With these cars, I don't put any oil whatsoever in the rear diff. Look at that, yeah? However, the front diff, if you look at this, that's tough. It still has got diff action, but it's very, it's not locked because we're not allowed to run locked diffs. However, it's very stiff. And that's how you want it on these TTO ones. You want it running on asphalt like it, or tarmac, and you want it running on carpet like it. And how do we achieve it? How do I achieve it? Quite simple. I use this stuff. TAMIYA AW grease. This stuff is horrendous. Yeah, it is like sticky, horrible, thick, gloopy glue. But that's exactly what you need. So the way you do it is you get some of this off eBay. I'll get mine off eBay. Let me tell you something though. It's not cheap. A little tube of that will cost you about £7. It's ridiculous, but it will last you for one car for a good season. All right, it doesn't come out either. It doesn't splay out like some of the oils. You hear people putting million weight oil in, this, that, and the other. Fine, if that's what works for them, great. It doesn't work for me. This works for me, but it's expensive. And the way you do it is you crack open the front diff, pack as much of that in as you can, seal it back up, put it together, and away you go. As long as you've still got diff action, like that, you're not breaking any rules. That's really important. Reason being is when the car goes round the corner, sometimes the front wheel can move up a little bit and then you lose drive from the side that's lifted up. However, actually, no, you don't, do you? You lose drive on the wheel that's planted on the floor. Once you've got enough of that AW grease in there, it just keeps pulling itself forward. You'll gain, you'll gain milliseconds around those corners for sure. All right, so remember, AW grease. Get some, get it in your front diffs. Okay, moving on to the suspension, moving on to the shocks. Now remember, racing shocks we most tend to use because they're cheap and they're reliable. Actually really good. Now, the carpet car, let's concentrate on this. Nice and simple. I'm going to tell you exactly what weight oil I've got in this and it works a treat. So if we look to my oils here. By the way, Lossy do a really nice selection of oils there, which I bought, and it's lasted me a good year so far. This is the one we use for carpet racing, or the one I use anyway. There you go. 35. So 420 CST in the front and in the rear on the carpet car. That's what we use, okay? Well, that's what I use. When you get these shocks, they come with a series of different sort of tension springs, if you like. I use blue on the rear and yellow on the front on the carpet car. So there you go. So we use 420, 35, 420 CST oil, and we use blueies on the back and yellows on the front. Now listen, I can't stress this enough. I know I keep banging on about it. It works for me. It might not work for you. It depends what your driving style is, but it's a good baseline to get your car handling right. Let's move over to the other car here. So, yeah, we've got slightly different oils on this one. So, on the Outdoor Racing TT01E, shock-wise, we have these two. So, it's a combination. On the front, I use 610 CST, that's a 45 in the Lossy range. And then in the back, we go with this one, the 420 35 in the rear. Spring combinations are different. They're the other way around on here to the carpet car. So we have blue on the front and we have yellow on the rear. Okay, moving on to gearing. Gearing is completely different in these two cars. The carpet car, what gearing am I using on here? Nice and simple, I'll show you. On the carpet car, we use a 58 spur and a 24 or 25 pinion. That's for the carpet car. And it works on most indoor tracks. I've raced on a few, and that's a great combination. The bigger the track, the smaller the spur gear, the bigger the pinion, because you're going to need more speed. So let's go over to the asphalt car. What are we using? We are using a 55 spur gear and a 26, focus on that, a 26 or a 27 tooth pinion on the bigger tracks. Also, it says it on these, if you look carefully, this one here, you'll be able to see it. There you go, tells you on the end, if you get good quality ones anyway, that's a 27 there. All right, and if you're going to get these, it has to be this MO.6 kind of gauge, just to let you know. The one it comes with is a 58. Is it a 58? Hold on. No, sorry, 61. It actually comes with a 61, which is pretty useless for anything that I do, so I don't use that. Now, you can get these off of, well, I'll put a link in the description, but you can get them eBay, internet, wherever you like. So those are the two cars that I race, and I've pretty much given you all the little secrets and tips and bits and pieces that you need to get your cars up and running. As well as I do, and I do all right. Like I say, they're okay. One thing to mention, I've got one little bit of weight there. I think it's about 5 grams. I've got a little bit of weight there at the back. Just because these cars are notoriously tail heavy. Tail happy. In other words, you'll go around and the tail will spin out and catch you out every now and again. And I find that just plants it just enough for you to get round. Little helpful hint. Use this to clean your tyres between heats and races. All you do squirt it on like that. Give it a little with a cloth, it'll dry, and then you just apply your additive and away you go. So there you have it. Those are my top tips to get your TT01Es handling just as good as I've got mine handling. Like I say, I'm not the best driver in the world. I do okay. When I race outside, I'm a solid B finalist. May get into the A if I'm lucky, if I'm having a good day. On carpet, I am an A finalist in a few of the places that I've gone. And occasionally won, which is quite good. Reason being is because I've raced on carpet far longer than I have raced outdoors. I have to say though, racing outdoors has been challenging at times, and I've learned a lot. I think it's more challenging than racing indoors purely because of the elements. You've got wind, you've got temperature changes, you've got gearing. There's all kinds of things to consider, but it's been really good. Most of the tips I've given you today are from other people. You know, they're from stuff that I've learned along the way. I'm not shy about asking the club guru what he's doing, and you shouldn't be either. So if you're out and about and you see someone's car absolutely sticking to the track like glue, looking fast, go and tap them up, go and ask them what are they doing. The RC community is a pretty friendly place to be, and you shouldn't be shy about asking anybody what they're doing. Yeah. Sometimes I guess people might hold a few things, hold their cards close to their chest, so we say. I've given you everything that I do anyway on here. Hopefully it helps some of you. Anyway, listen, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. We'll see you on another video. For now, take care.